but it's controlled again by the East. And they've had the better of the possession. Here's a long ball downfield for Myren. Myren has to hurry. DiBernardo chasing him. Around DiBernardo. Myren with a cross in front of the goal, and a fine defensive play as Koch got up high.
Good work there by the University of Connecticut senior Eric Myren to run onto it and cross it. He would have liked to keep it a bit farther away from the keeper, but nonetheless a good run by Eric Myren.
Okpodu now for the West. A fine pass from Miller on the left wing, but it's knocked away over there by Kieran Coffey. And the East controls in their own end. He sends it back for Jim Leahy, the Brandeis University goalkeeper.
There you saw some good understanding, Kevin, between Sam Okpodu and Pat Miller, the striker from UCLA. Okpodu holding the ball just long enough so that Miller can make his run into the open space. You don't have to be together for 3 or 4 months at a time to know that when your teammate has the ball, holds it, he draws defenders to him, then you run into the opening.
Amir Ali with a fine rush for the East, and it's knocked away. A fine defensive play by Otarubio. We're going to see a lot of that before the night's over, I guarantee you. Now, for the East, they control it again with McCluskey. A long pass headed out of there nicely. Moreland with the play, and the shot whistles wide.
Shot just wide there by number 16, Sean Fryatt.
Well, Bill, I'm impressed with the effort from the East from the outset of this game. They've maintained possession. They've had the better scoring opportunities. And I think the West a little bit shocked by it, too.
I think so, too, and they've become a little uncertain in the back, Kevin.
DiBernardo at midfield. Getting it ahead for Ogadegbe. Ogadegbe with a pass for Fernandez that goes too far. And it's controlled again by the East and David Macer. A couple of close calls for the East where they've almost dented the nets of the West. I think a little bit pride at stake also for the East. They know they were beaten handily last year, although these players weren't there, but the East was beaten 4-0. Okpodu with a brilliant streak. Oh, is he quick? And Leslie Farr clears it out of there for the East for Ali at midfield, but that's too far, and it'll be controlled by Jeff Romano.
What a great run there by Sam Okpodu, Kevin. In that close, tight, confined quarters, he used his speed to get into some open space.
Macer gets it ahead for Brian Vernon, but he loses control momentarily to Moreland, and now Macer controls again for the East. He lays it off to McCluskey. His ball on the outside intercepted by Radwensky, and now the West will come back with it the other way with Alfonso Smith. He's the local favorite from the University of Tampa.
He's represented his country on numerous occasions, Kevin. Very talented player, rock-hard defender, and like all good defenders, can easily get involved in the attack.
Sam Okpodu giving chase, but it's knocked back nicely by Macer for Jim Leahy, and he rolls it out in a hurry. And here comes the East again to midfield. Now they control it there with McCluskey. He loses it, though. Here's Okpodu. Look at the speed on Okpodu. Moving it along, the shot and a save. Now the rebound comes out, but Leslie Farr is there for the East. Okpodu had no one to mark him. He just raced in with a full sprint, and the shot probably, Bill, was not as good as he would have liked to have had. He hit it right at the keeper, Jim Leahy.
Here he is, Kevin. Lovely through ball. He runs onto it. He tried to beat the keeper at the far post. Nice save by the keeper, Jim Leahy. But a good run by Sam Okpodu. That sudden explosion, Kevin, off the dead ball situation, running onto it.
Okpodu very quick out of North Carolina State University. Now the East pressuring at the other end again. McCluskey does not win that ball, but the East controls anyway with David Macer out of Rutgers University. His long chip downfield intended for Isaacs. Isaacs sending it back outside for Myren. Myren inside for Vernon. Vernon making a couple of nice moves. Now he's taken down, and the trip will go against Ogadegbe of Alabama A&M.
Some nice understanding there between Brian Vernon and Eric Myren. They're doing a nice job of opening up for each other, and more importantly, Kevin, when one of them gets the ball, the other will show up for him, make himself available.
And although not quite as dangerous as you might be accustomed to in the indoor version of this game, this free ball, dead ball situation will be a very good opportunity for the East to score.
And one of the things that in an all-star game, Kevin, you'll see a team have a chance to work on are things exactly like this, dead ball situations. Let's see what develops.
Amir Ali, and it's deflected at the defense. Now the shot wide, and it's smothered by Koch. It was deflected by Pat Miller, number 12. for the West. And Ali had that ball circling its way. He bent it back toward the far post, Bill, and I'm not certain as to whether that might not have been in.
That's right, a good ball by Amir Ali. And you see, Kevin, the danger, even if you do have an effective wall set up, when you spin the ball like that, when you have a player who's good on dead ball situations, he can manipulate the ball to his liking. That's exactly what Amir Ali did on that play.
Leslie Farr now for the East as he comes to midfield. Gets it to Ali. Nice pass ahead to McCluskey. Redwensky on him. And McCluskey, it's knocked off the ball. Al Smith. And here comes the West back with Ogadegbe. The pass outside nearly stolen, but DiBernardo back for the West, and he simply sends it back to his keeper, Eric Koch.
DiBernardo, the man who really made the Indiana attack tick, Kevin. And we saw a couple times Indiana had to play without Paul DiBernardo, and they were a different squad.
He's just a little guy, but I'm telling you, he's a big one in terms of goal scoring and making an offense go, and you'll see a lot more of him tonight before this match is over. Here's David Fernandez for the West. A nice run, slowed down by Myren, but Al Smith comes away with it for the West. Okpodu inside, but Leslie Farr is there. He looked for Redwensky, moving up from the midfield, but he couldn't quite get it to him.
Good attempt, nonetheless, on the attack by the West. Good ball out of the back by Al Smith. Laid it off to Okpodu. He anticipated the return pass, but Okpodu in turn laid it off into the open space, hoping to find Redwensky.
Breton with a pass, and the shot is wide of the mark. A fine run by Brian Vernon. And Breton fed him beautifully, but the shot well wide of the goal mouth.
Good work by the East on the attack, done at high speed. That's one of the real areas you see a great deal of improvement in college players, Kevin. Things are done at top speed.
So it'll belong to the West. Otarrubio, one of the finest defensive players in the country this year. Headmans it forward for Smith. And here comes the West again. Here's Fernandez at midfield. David Fernandez out of St. Louis University. A long crossing pass, but that's going to be intercepted as the East doing a good job with Kieran Coffey. But Fernandez gets it back, slides it outside. It's intercepted, and the East controls once more with Sean Fryatt. Fryatt controlling it himself with lots of room near the midfield, and now he sends it outside, and here comes the East battling back. Kieran Coffey. Coffey with a pass ahead, but that's intercepted, and here comes the West with Redwensky.
Good job there by Redwensky, Kevin, to win the ball, then go to space.
A long pass ahead as the West with Miller. Nice run on the near side. Pat Miller looking to cross, and it's knocked away by Leslie Farr. We'll be back to Pepin Rouge Stadium in Tampa, Florida, right after this.